Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why it seems like you're paying more and more for the items that you use every day? Well, the answer is simple. You're at the bottom of the food chain. Stick with me for the next few minutes, and I'm going to show you why. And by the time I'm done, if you stick with me to the end, you'll find out what you can do about it. It has to do with something that we all do every single day. We go to the store, we buy what we want, we bring it home. Sounds simple, right? Well, yes and no. The simple part is what we do, which is just going to the store and buying what we want to take home. The part that's not so simple is all the work that goes into getting those items on the shelf in the first place. There's a network of people who work together in a continuous chain to make sure that we have the products that we want to buy. And that system is a chain that has a name. And the name of that system is distribution. You've seen it in action every single day. Trucks, delivery vans, tractor trailers, going back and forth on the highways, on the roads, bringing products back and forth all across the place. Hidden in plain sight, is right in front of our eyes every day. Distribution is very simply a way to get products to market from the people that make them. That's all. The people that make them get the products to the people who buy them, which is us. Here's how it works. At the top of the chain, we have someone called the manufacturer. Manufacturer makes the product that we're eventually going to buy. But the manufacturer does not sell the product directly to us, the consumer. The manufacturer sells the product to someone called the jobber. The jobber's responsibility is to get the product from the manufacturer and move it on down the chain to make it available for us. And they buy the product at a markup. And then they turn around and resell the product to someone that you and I are probably familiar with. You've heard of them. A person called the wholesaler. They sell the product to the wholesaler at markup. And if you've heard of places like BJ's or Costco or Sam's, then you know something about a wholesaler. And because you've heard of these particular wholesalers, you may think that everybody can go in there and buy whatever they want. But that's not true. Wholesalers only sell to their members. And to be a member at a wholesale club, you pay an annual fee that ranges from $45 to $120 a year. And that's just for the privilege of walking through the doors, showing them your membership card, and shopping to your heart's content. Now, there is one member of the wholesale club that you're very familiar with, and we all know about this person. They are called a retailer. And the retailer, again, buys a product from the wholesaler at markup. And it is the retailer who eventually makes the product available to us, the consumer or the customer. And you see, I didn't even have room to put you on the screen. Can you tell why you're at the bottom of the food chain? I should also point something else out. You notice I said there's markup here at each step of the way. As the product moves down the chain, the price goes up because of this markup. But the other thing I should point out is this. On this chain, the only one who actually does truly pay markup is you and me, the customer. John Q. Public, or Jane Q. Public, as some people like to say. Because all these people in between offset their markup by reselling the product. The customer can't do that. That's why it looks like the customer is at the bottom of the chain or behind the 8 ball, as it were. And you may have been wondering, well, what can be done about this? Well, over 6 decades ago, there were some people that did take steps to address this issue. Some people who did their best to give customers a break. You may have been involved with such people, or you may have heard of people who did have involvement in this activity. It's called MLM or network marketing. And network marketing is simply a way for a company to hire a team of distributors to distribute the product to the end customer. And when network marketing was introduced to me many years ago, I was told that in network marketing, you eliminate the middleman. And for a lot of people, this system has been very successful. As I like to say, there are some people who swear by it. There are other people who swear at it. You're going to get different opinions about this from different people. But I did learn something fairly recently about network marketing. It's a bit of a challenge because a lot of people do struggle with network marketing. For one thing, network marketing on its face basically is designed for people who are outgoing. People who are generally introverts and kind of keep to themselves struggle with this because they're given the impression that in order to be successful, you have to change your personality or basically change who you are. And that kind of puts some people behind the learning curve a bit, and they may struggle. They'll eventually succeed with it or not, but it makes things a little bit tougher for them. Another thing that you have to consider is that in network marketing or multi-level marketing, there actually is a chain of distribution. And it goes like this. There is a manufacturer who makes a product. The manufacturer sells the product to the MLM company. The MLM company sells the product to their distributor. And the distributor does eventually sell the product to the consumer. And yes, there is markup at each stage of the game. So the customer still winds up paying the markup at the end, and the customer, as any other example, cannot resell the product. So they're still kind of behind the 8 ball. There is one other factor here to consider. Because as I said, as a distributor, you do become a middleman. You eliminate the middleman for yourself, but not for the customer, because you become a middleman for the customer. There's one other thing to consider. Recent rulings by the Federal Trade Commission have made it mandatory for MLM companies, to emphasize product sales versus actual recruitment of distributors, because that is where there's been a bit of a tug of war, where there are people who want to build big teams of distributors, which is good, but the FTC wants to make sure that the main focus of an MLM company, just like any other business, is product sales, as opposed to just recruiting distributors. Now, You may be thinking if you just wanted to be a customer in all this and didn't want to get involved in distribution, that you're still at the bottom of the chain. So you're wondering, even with all of this, that maybe you're still behind the 8 ball and that's just where you're destined to be and that's where you're stuck. But let me run something by you. Suppose, just suppose, that there was a way for you as a customer to deal not with distributors or MLM companies or jobbers or wholesalers or retailers, but there actually was a direct chain where you could go straight to the manufacturer and do what you were trying to do in the first place, which is go to the store, buy what you want, and bring it home. Because the manufacturer is the store. Suppose there was such a thing in place where you could, as a customer, go to the manufacturer, which is the store, buy what you want, bring it home. If you're in the local area, you can just stop by the manufacturer and buy what you want anytime you like. If you're not in the local area, you can reach the manufacturer over the phone or online, make your selections, make your payment, and have it shipped directly to you, and there's no middlemen involved in the process. There's no markup to have to deal with. There are no hoops to jump through because it's a very simple procedure, back and forth. Oh, and lest I forget, there's an annual fee. But unlike the wholesaler that was charging $45 to $120 a year, you only had to pay $20 to $25 a year. Wouldn't that be nice? Suppose such a system did exist. Suppose such a system was in place. Suppose it was possible for you to gain access to a system like this so you didn't have to deal with those other systems that I described just a few minutes earlier. If such a system did exist, if such a system was available, and such a system was the kind that you could take advantage of not only for yourself and for your loved ones, and you could all benefit from it, because not only do they make the products that you can get this easily, but they're the type of products that are competitive with places like Walmart and Target. They compete on price and they have the kind of quality that you feel good about because it's safe for you, it's safe for your family, it's safe for the environment. If all that was available, would you want to know about it? If the answer is yes, do yourself a favor and click on the link that you see below this video. It will take you to a site where you can sign up for a webinar that you can watch at a time and date of your choosing, free of charge, no obligation, and it will give you enough information to make an intelligent, wise decision that can benefit you and people that you care about. Now, if this information has been helpful to you, give it a thumbs up. And if you think that this will be beneficial to people that you really care about, don't be shy and don't be stingy. Share this video with as many people as you can so that they can have the opportunity to take advantage of this information and they can benefit from it and they can be blessed by it. Now, it has been my honor and my privilege to share this information with you, and I hope you have a blessed day. Take care and be well.